Hello, Libra, and thank you for taking the time to listen to this message. This message is for the new moon in Sagittarius happening on the 20th of December. This energy obviously will not just be a one-day thing, it is an energy that will be playing out. So take what resonates, release what doesn't, and let's look at what messages are coming up for you. Now, I do want to say, because I'm going to bring it up during this reading if these cards show up, I had done a reading that was absolutely beautiful for you, but it cut off before I was even like halfway through it. But it really spoke of an injustice, and it was speaking about justice being served, scales being balanced, that sort of energy. So we're just going to keep moving. And if any of the energies show up in this reading that did in that prior reading, and they were done at a different time. So once that I had an issue with that, I kind of stepped away for a while. Take a break is typically what I do when something like that goes on, and then, come back with fresh energy, in case it's anything, disturbing, whatever. So, anyhow, we'll see what shows up. Let's see what energies we have for the sign of Libra for this new moon in Sagittarius. Yeah, I did feel like there was some huge awakening as far as learning or understanding or recognizing a energy that was around someone. Welcome change. This message has come out in almost every reading that I have done so far. Not surprising, this moon is going to bring about a lot of change, I feel. I feel like there's going to be an expansion as far as the mindset goes, like a higher learning and understanding of something, even a discovery of something that maybe someone didn't see, didn't recognize. Um, so let's see. Huge shout out. I don't know if she'll watch this video because I don't believe this is her sign, but I do want to thank Carrie for that beautiful angel, which is one of many pieces she sent to me for the holiday season. I'm so grateful. It came at the divine time. I did not see this coming. And, around the holidays, I do have a lot of passed over loved ones. So, that does become a little heavy on your heart or tugs at your heartstrings at the very least, I would say. And so to get that angel, I feel teary eyed just uh, thanking her for this because perfect timing. Just when you ask for signs and synchronicities and then something like this shows up at your door, it's just like, you just know. And I'll thank you, Carrie, and thank you so much. Next card that comes up is Reach the Unreachable. And the welcome card, I believe, was in the first reading. This Reach the Unreachable, I don't recall being in that reading, but it does give me that similar vibe where this change, and I feel like this change is as a result of discovering something, learning something, finding out some information. And I kind of feel like it's where, in regards to where someone was sabotaged or betrayed, that sort of energy, this definitely was in that energy, the faithful way. This was absolutely in that reading. And I remember looking at these waves and saying, this person is heading towards calmer waters. And I so specifically recall saying, Libra is all about, on a high vibrational Libra, is all about what's right, fair, and just. They like peace, they like balance, they like harmony within relationships. Doesn't just mean a person they're involved with, it can be within their family dynamics, within their friend circle, their coworkers, that sort of thing. And I feel like there was an energy in that prior reading where somebody was connected some way, some shape, somehow to an energy that was, I had the very strong vibe smiling in their face, meanwhile sabotaging. It was like a friend, like, you can trust me, you can trust me, and somebody speaking and having conversations with this energy only for that energy to be taking that information and using it against them, like knowing what they're doing. So, doing stuff to sabotage, stop, to block them, to delay them, whatever it was. So I kind of feel this is going to give me that same vibe. I'm feeling this change coming in is where this person, whoever I'm talking to and reading for, you are reaching the unreachable. You are breaking through whatever has been kind of keeping you restricted. Stand your ground is the next card that comes up. And I know this, I didn't see this card in the prior card, but I know I talked about Neptune. And Neptune is right there. Neptune right now is at the 29 degrees of Pisces. So it's going to, this is its final round at, in that sign for quite some time. And so you being at that 29 degrees, you're really going to see a lot of things discovered during this period. I would say now all the way up till the 26th. I mean, it can go longer, but I'm feeling very strongly from now until the 26th of January, where there can be a lot of shattered illusions, right? Like if you believe that, this is my best friend and yada, 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 they always got my back, and yada 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 is how I'm feeling. Only to discover, like, it was an illusion. You believed that, but it wasn't real. I'm just using that as an example. But this does give me that energy. Look, there's a harmonized life I was talking about. This is like almost a prerequisite for a Libra on a high vibrational energy. They want balance. They want peace. They want harmony. And I feel somebody is going to stand their ground. They're going to break through whatever restrictive energy this has been playing out, and they are going to move forward after an illusion has been shattered. So again, what that illusion is, I'm not seeing right now, other than to know it is a sabotage and a betrayal. That's the only thing I'm seeing in the prior reading. I haven't seen it in this reading, but I do feel like it's going to come back out. So I just feel that energy. But this is a breakthrough energy. So as challenging as a situation or experience may be, it does feel like this was part of the plan, part of the path, part of an experience someone needed to have so that they could break free, break through. And I did feel, and I am feeling it in this one as well, relieve themselves, like to release themselves from a connection or being involved or around energies that are like that. Because when people know people are sabotaging them, best believe they're not intentionally staying connected to them, unless they're, just interested in receiving that kind of thing. So I kind of feel this is somebody, look, let go of the past. Yes, this card 100% showed up in that prior reading, and it was right there. It was one of the first cards that came out. This is somebody having to let go of something. And I do feel it was a challenging, or is a challenging thing, because it's hard to let go of things you love, right? But if what you love is hurting you or damaging you in some way, you're really not doing yourself any favors, right? So next, bottom of the deck is the card of optimism. I feel like this is somebody really shifting. Like they're not going to be dwelling on the betrayal, the sabotage, what they've learned. It feels more like, thank you for giving me the clarity and the information I need so that I know the way forward, is how I'm feeling with this energy. I feel like it's a big part of their breakthrough, where they're able to move forward and bring forth a very positive change by not having themselves tethered or connected to the energies that are, sabotaging, blocking, stopping, causing harm in some way, shape, or form, right? The next card that comes up is Love Unites. And Libra, this is what you want, right? This is what you, like a high vibrational Libra, loves: peace, balance, harmony, fairness within relationships moving forward. This card was in that prior reading as well. I believe it was let go of the past was right here, and then moving forward was right here. So it did give me that indication of somebody has to release, surrender, sacrifice something in order to move forward, because I feel like they have been connected, whether knowingly or unknowingly, to an energy that was holding them back, slowing them down, like kind of blocking their progress to move forward, to ascend and evolve. So let's get some clarifying energies. Oh, wow, too many cards. I'll just give a quick peek at them because I feel like it. So here's the news or information I feel like that's going to be coming in. I feel like this news or information is going to bring forth an opportunity for you to nurture and water a seed, have a new beginning of some sort. This is about being at a crossroads and making a choice and a decision. Another ace is out here. And I do know for 100% certainty that the Ace of Water and the Ace of Pentacles both came out in that prior reading. So this again, I feel like whatever this I'm not finished showing you, but whatever this new beginning is, I feel like it's a new beginning that is initiated with peace and love in your heart, as well as stability and security in the physical. So this could be a time of developing or connecting and meeting new friends, having something to do with relationships in the physical realm that are more solid, stable, dependable, trustworthy, that sort of information. This card came out in that prior reading as well, the Queen of Water. And this is where I felt somebody was really intuitively knowing, sensing, and feeling something, and ultimately everything aligning, moving them forward. Because it felt to me like everything clicked into place at the same time. This is, again, another choice and a decision of a path somebody is going to take. And I feel like they're taking the higher road. I feel like they're taking the road where, okay, I see it for what it is. I'm not going to sit here and dwell on it, let it bring me down, let it lower my vibration. I'm just accepting what it is for what it is and moving forward. And I do feel leaving it behind. I definitely feel a strong sacrifice happening where, okay, like in my mind, I had, I'm just, this is the vibe that I'm feeling, is in someone's mind they believe this energy would be at their celebratory table, ultimately to only find out that the reason they're delayed from getting to that celebration and being able to sit at that winning table is because of an energy that was around them, blocking, preventing, sabotaging their movement forward. And I feel like that is discovered, I feel like it's exposed, and I feel like the illusion is shattered, and they ultimately can release, surrender that energy, and move forward to bringing in that balance, that peace, that harmony. So let's keep clarifying. Oops, all right. Two cards wanted to come up, and these both came out in that reading, and the Wheel of Fortune had came out 3 times on the bottom of the deck. The Judgment card had come out too. Two major arcana cards in clarifying this welcome change. This is telling me that the time is now for change. This Fortune's wheel is Jupiter energy. It is the ruler of Sagittarius, which this reading is for that new moon. There feels to me like there is a judgment being rendered. Again, I feel like part of this judgment is the disclosure or the exposure, whatever, um, towards whatever you couldn't see that was holding someone back. Yes, 5 of fire on the bottom of the deck. This is this judgment is being called, I feel, in regards to whatever the 5 of wands, 5 of fire is. There is some sort of conflict. It can also indicate a competition where maybe somebody was competing with you for some reason. But it does talk about drama, conflict, and it is a challenge. Fives are always challenges to overcome. And I feel whoever I'm reading for, judgment is in your favor. The wheel is turning in your favor. There is a judgment on this entire situation. And I feel part of that is by exposing it so you can see it and not be living in an illusion. That look, 5 of air. Yeah, I kind of, Fool card on the bottom of the deck. Something has been holding someone up from a new beginning. It's definitely with 2 5s, 5 of wands, and the 5 of air. They could have been doing this through um, manipulation, through conversations, communication, even giving false information. Like this is like maybe you're telling your friend, I heard XYZ is going to be hiring. I'm going to apply for a job there. And this person says, oh, I heard that too, but then I heard the position got filled, knowing damn well the position never got filled. So you believing in an individual, right, and what they are saying to you, ultimately to find out it was all a lie, right? It gives me that sort of energy. So anyhow, any way that I'm looking at this, I'm feeling like whoever I'm talking to, two fives out here, that is pretty significant of a pretty challenging time. Maybe having a challenging time moving forward, taking action, even thinking clearly, because maybe there's some sort of, I do feel like a messy situation when it comes to information. Like you could have in your mindset information that may not be true, may not be accurate, or you just may not have available to you because you've never been told that energy or that information. But that is about to change. Whatever that was, I feel like it's what has had somebody stuck, hanging in limbo, going through some sort of awakening and enlightenment. Um, so, we got the Hanged Man here, Pisces energy. And so I'm feeling with that energy right there. It's talking about that Neptunian energy, which I just talked about prior. And then we got the Three of Fire on the bottom of the deck. So this talks about moving forward. This talks about growth and expansion. It talks about somebody heading towards their ships coming in because they're not carrying around a bunch of baggage, unnecessary baggage, like baggage that weighs them down or brings confusion, brings conflict, brings drama, brings competition, anything like that. Like there is something that is waking someone up to what is really happening here. And now, once they know better, they can do better. Seven of Air, this did show up in that prior reading, and it was sitting right in this area right here. Just like I said, there was this let go of the past, and then there was this Seven of Energy, Air, that was clarifying that energy. And it was as a result of sneaky behavior, something that was done behind the scenes, some sort of deception, that sort of energy. Another five. I really feel like whatever this challenge was for whoever I'm talking to right now, not only did I feel like it affected you in a physical way, like as far as you moving, taking action, kind of, it could have been blocking you, like you moving energy forward. I also feel like it caused conflict and challenges within your mind space and your physical realm. Again, so if this was about a job, that would say yes. Like this is somebody who was trying to sabotage somebody moving ahead, getting moving forward, ascending, expanding, growing, evolving as an individual, or at the very least along their path and on their mission, right? So yeah, it is as a person as well. So this is what I feel is going to be playing out if it hasn't already. I do not know why, but I'm feeling to remind you about the full moon that we had in the sign of Gemini. There may be information in the reading that I did for Libra for the full moon in Gemini that may be helpful and attached with this reading as well. You can go look at the playlist. I have an entire playlist for each and every sign, so you can go check out the full moon in Gemini reading for the sign of Libra. Let's see what other energies, because this is talking about stand your ground. It's clarified by the um, Seven of Air. So somebody's standing their ground when it comes to a betrayal, some sort of sabotage. Nine of Waters to the Queen of Fire. Woo, very nice energy. Bottom of the deck is the Sun. So this is somebody liberating themselves. They're breaking through whatever this challenging time frame, experience, sabotage, whatever this was, they're breaking through. They're moving towards a wish fulfillment. Like I feel whoever I'm talking to behind the scenes, you are working on some stuff. I feel like you've really tapped in and connected and feel very strong and stable in your confidence and the direction you want to go. I even feel in who you are, right? Like it just gives me that strong energy of like, I know I am worthy of so much more than betrayed or something like that. I'm also getting that vibe of like I'm worthy of friends that treat me the way I treat them. Like I want that reciprocating energy. If I'm not out here, like I don't feel who I'm reading for. I feel you're a high vibrational Libra, so you do what's right, fair, and just, right? You bring balance to a situation, and for some reason there are people who even something like that people don't like. They may look at you like, oh, look at Miss Goody Two Shoes or Mr. Goody Two Shoes, prim and proper and all this, that, and the third thing, right? And people hate on people for who knows what reasons. Really, the reasons are within themselves because they're not happy with who they are or confident in who they are. So they try to take somebody else down so they can feel better than, but that doesn't really work out. It doesn't work out. So I feel behind the scenes, somebody is really ready to move forward, take action, get out there. Ace of Air. There's a third ace showing up in this reading. So there are new beginnings surrounding you, Libra. Again, it's all about free will and choice. There's a choice card right there. And I feel like this is choosing you and choosing the higher realm, right? Like there are people who will tolerate, and I didn't feel. I'm not saying you're an intolerant person, but I just feel like it's almost like you've raised the standards or something, like established stronger boundaries, enforcing those boundaries. I just feel like somebody's not going to be settling for half-ass. That's how I'm feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just gives me that vibe of an energy, like this deceptive energy. I feel like I think I said this in that last reading too. It just gave me the vibe, and I do feel like it was in like the friend group, social group, something like that, where I felt like somebody's going to learn a very tough lesson out of this. And I kind of feel someone's going to be losing a very good friend, associate, coworker, employee, uh, partner, whatever it is. Take what resonates, release what doesn't, as a result of this betrayal. And I feel like the lesson for the person who unfortunately was betrayed is knowing their worth and knowing that this is not acceptable and that they're not going to be tolerating disrespect or treatment like that. And then that other energy that was the betraying energy, the Seven of Swords energy, I felt like they would learn that lesson, probably look back throughout the remainder of their lifetime and recognize, like, I had a good person on my side. I had a great friend who was dependable, loyal, would show up for me, this, that, and the third thing. And I did the most to this person out of my own, I feel, insecurity. It could have been to other reasons, greed or something like that. But I kind of feel someone's going to get a rude awakening and harsh wake up call about the way they treat people. And hopefully they learn that lesson in this lifetime so that they can ascend and evolve out of that. Two of Earth, this has shown up for the second time. We've seen it already. And that is about making a choice and a decision. And I do feel like somebody is making a choice and a decision as far as their physical realm goes to move forward. Once this secret is exposed, they're trusting their intuition. That card most definitely showed up out at the other in your other reading. I think it was close to the beginning as well. Somebody's staying focused on growing, evolving, and expanding and stabilizing their physical realm, free of, I mean, we all know new levels, new devils, but I'm feeling at this point it's free of the energy that was blocking, stopping, slowing them down, creating obstacles and challenges that were not necessary. I'm not feeling like they were. I'm not seeing how they were. But anyhow, I do feel like that is how this energy is moving forward and playing out. Let's see what energy wants to show up next. Is the choice card again. This is the Lover's card. It is a major arcana card. Somebody is choosing peace, joy, happiness, emotionally stable relationships, connections, friendships, that sort of thing. This person I'm feeling is going to be more mindful of who they invest their emotional time, energy, and effort into. So take what resonates, release what doesn't. We're going to pull some cards from the Spirit Junkie, and this is a deck that is just for inspiration, motivation, encouragement of some sort. So let's see what energies want to show up. First card that shows up is I breathe calmly and easily. I am safe in this moment. Yeah, I feel like somebody is going, not only are they safe, but I feel like they're comfortable and confident in the choices and decisions they're making and the sacrifices they're making as well. Because it's interesting to see it on the Hanged Man, which is a card of sacrifice, right? It's about an enlightenment that requires someone to release something, to surrender something, in order to be able to move forward. Because when you see the Hanged Man, it's typically talking about being held up, slowed down, delayed, on pause, right? That sort of energy. And where I'm looking at this, I'm seeing as a result of external influence or actions. That's how I'm feeling it. So I do feel you are in a good space, in a place, and things are going to be happening. The next card that comes out is attacking others is an attack on myself. I choose to release this now. And I did feel that somebody wasn't going to be attacking anyone. I felt like somebody was going to stand their ground. They were going to protect and defend themselves. They were going to stand up for themselves. And I didn't feel like they were going to be dwelling on all of this, right? I didn't feel like they were going to be, you know, just I feel focused on what went wrong. I feel like they're going to look at it, they're going to process it, and but I don't feel them dwelling on that energy and retaliating in any way. And Libra, like I said, a high vibrational Libra, that's really not their MO. They're not going to be involved in something like that. They already will know that there will be a time and a place when someone will recognize, I messed up a good thing. That's just how I'm feeling. This is the second card showing up for you, Libra, that said it's safe to ask for help. People want to support me. And I do feel that. And I just feel like you're going to be shifting and changing your direction on who you connect with and communicate with and ask for that help and support, because I do feel like the energies that you were asking before were utilizing it for not a good thing, right? Like if you were trying to brainstorm with someone, instead of helping you, giving you positive feedback or giving you feedback that would assist you, it's almost like they were throwing things out there, communicating with you, giving you information that would almost sabotage you or get you slowed down by going down a wrong path and having to, course correct and, wasting your time, energy, and effort just. And again, it gives me that energy of somebody who really believed and trusted in someone that ultimately really didn't have their back, is how I'm feeling it. And I just know, I just know that is not a good thing. I just know that. I know it's not going to work out well. When you come for a Libra, I mean, you shouldn't come for anybody, but each sign has their own superpowers and strengths. And Libras are all about bringing justice to a situation. So you can take that any way you want it. That's just how it is. Let's see what other energies are showing up. What other energies are showing up? The next card that comes out is I welcome healthy, loving relationships. And yeah, we've seen this all over this reading so far. So it's talking about getting in alignment with people who really want to be there to support, to help, to encourage, to be a soundboard, to be a, someone you can communicate with and brainstorm with and that sort of thing, that you can trust, that you can believe that what they're saying, they're not saying it to you to get you off course, right? They're doing it to help you to get better. And so beautiful energy. And the final card coming out for this reading is instead of taking on the fear of others, I reflect love. And I felt that, like I felt like whoever that betraying energy was just insecure. Could have been insecurity, could have been jealousy, and it drove them to do things behind the scenes, create obstacles, challenges, like I'm just messiness, really, because they didn't have the confidence in themselves to maybe do something out of the norm or take action on something. You know what I'm saying? It's just giving me that. And the final card, which is at the bottom of the deck, it says guidance is available to me now. I know that angels, ancestors, and spirit guides are always at hand. I do not walk alone. And we did see this in here. I kind of feel like the wrong people are being removed from your circle, your cycle, your path, and healthier, more aligned energies are being placed. And I love to see the angels and the guides after I just spoke on that beautiful little angel, which I felt was divine timing. And that would definitely is like hitting me with that same vibe again, where yes, this is a sign, right? The angels show up. And like I said, this angel showed up at the divine timing. And then here it is, the first time in any of the readings I have done. It's out here on display, and then these angels show up for you. So I do feel there's a lot of angelic support and guidance for you through this time as you're working through this transformation and transition. I hope this message serves you well, Libra. I send you love and light. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this message if it does resonate with you. Have a great day. I send you love and light.